So I've been performing and doing like gender performance for 7 years now, and I've fucked with gender so well that now, since I've come out as pregnant, there's this rumor going about that I'm a trans woman having a baby because people don't know what my gender was when I was born. And it's pretty awesome. I kind of think it's cool because if I was a trans woman having a baby, I'd be like on TV. I'd be famous. I'd be the first person to have a baby as a trans woman. That'd be amazing. So yeah, I'm having a baby.
3 years ago, for the first time, I was actually asked what gender I want to be called, he or she. And I think that's something that's really important because gender is imposed on us. It's not a choice. I think being a woman was definitely something that was put onto me. Like, it wasn't given to me as a choice. And I would like to have a choice in how I represent my gender.
Hello and welcome to my Sweet 16, June 8th, 1991. And I hope you have a great time. And that's it. I want to thank Mom and Dad and have the best time. And all my friends are here. And this is good. Eat out.
What? What?
How many genders are there? I could either say one with many interpretations or just infinite.
What's your favorite gender to be?
The one I am.
Chocolate. Watermelon. Purple. Purple.
What gender are you?
I don't know. But why does there even have to be a spectrum?
And you know, you cannot
This and then
not
she
specify.
did that,
That's
and then
something that is
she,
always
because for
important
some
and that you
reason gender
always
is
have to talk
important.
about if you want to talk about them, unless you're using some sort of pronoun that you and your friends have agreed is a pronoun that you will understand. So we will use Z and here, but it's really hard because it's so ingrained.
And I just think that's
Such a ridiculous thing that when you are talking about anyone, you always specify their gender. Like, it's so core and central to their being that you would have to do that. And that just, for some reason, really stupid.
Why is it that when there is a group of mixed gender, we always would use you guys? You know, if it's a bunch of guys, that makes sense because it is you guys. If it's a bunch of girls, we won't. Sometimes we will say you guys, hey you guys, even though clearly, you know, in a group like this, you could say hey you girls. Although that sounds funny, but why? But specifically in mixed gender groups, why do we refer to them as you guys, not you all, or the Pittsburghian yins?
Yeah, right.
Yins, or I like just plural yous, more than one you. Why do we feel that it has to be you guys? If it was a group of guys and we referred to them as hey ladies, they'd get really ticked. But when a group yeah, they would. But if you said to a group of gals, hey guys,
Something you can say now, for some reason, is, hey, you bitches, right? Like, you can talk about people as being bitches, or guys, right? Like, but the female version of that is bitches. What gender are you?
I don't know.
You just told us earlier that you're straight, right? So you've got your sexuality down. You know that whatever it is you like, it's the one that's not you. But you don't know what you are. What's your gender?
I haven't assigned myself one today.
What gender is your husband?
Male?
So, are you only straight when you assign yourself a female gender, and other times you are what?
No, I'm always straight. I just choose to be different genders based arbitrarily on nothing.
Watermelon. Purple. Purple.
I don't have any idea what that means, I'm gonna be honest. That sounds really inaccessible to me. Like, I'm gonna be a watermelon today, and that's gonna be the way that I express my sexuality and my gender.
What I'm trying to say is that it shouldn't matter what the title is. Like, if you choose to use male, female, purple, none of that should actually mean anything. you know, it's like, it's just another word.
What's your gender?
I haven't assigned myself one today.
Well, I definitely think there's more than two. Well, I definitely think there's more.
What's your gender?
I definitely think there's more than two genders. More than two genders. I think there's more than. I think there's more than two genders.
Watermelon. Purple. Purple.
None of that should actually mean anything. It's just like, it's just another. I haven't
What's your
assigned
gender?
myself one today. I haven't assigned myself one today. But why does there even have to be a spectrum?
What's your gender?
Actually, my idea of gender is more linked to personality. Well, I definitely think there's more than two genders.
I haven't assigned myself
What's
one
your
today.
gender?
I'm gender fluid. How's that any different than claiming to be female?
What's your gender?
None of that should actually mean anything. It's like, it's just another word.
Do you think that you have multiple genders, or that you are at all gender fluid, or that your gender is pretty constant?
I guess maybe more gender fluid? I don't really know. I would say I'm female, but that can mean any number of different things on different days.
I mean, if I'm like identifying I'm female, right? Why does it have to mean something? Why does it have to have a specific connotation? Like Aaron said, it means different things on different days. So if I was to say I'm gender fluid, how is that any different than claiming to be female?
How is that any different than claiming to be female?
If female means you're different things on different days, it doesn't have any one set meaning. Doesn't that? Why does it matter what you choose? But why does there even have to be a spectrum?
I would like to have a choice in how I represent my gender. I would like to have a choice in how I represent my gender. I would like to have a choice in how I represent my gender. I would like to have a choice in how I represent my gender. I would like to have a choice in how I represent my gender.
I actually don't believe in gender as far as the way that society seems to perceive gender and use gender.
I came out as transgender. I started dating a drag king. The drag king is actually lesbian identified. And then she said, I can't date someone and use male pronouns because I am a lesbian, and she just came out as a lesbian I think 2 years ago, so she's very into like lesbian pride. She totally got it. She's a gender studies major in college. I was worried that I was separating from the lesbian community. I'm still very much a part of it. The problem is, it's not so much a problem for me to date lesbians, but sometimes it's a problem for them. I'm still the same person. I'm still the same person. I'm still the same person.
Actually, my idea of gender is more linked to personality than to stereotypical norms. It's more about like every person has a different gender, because I've never really met anyone that expresses their gender in the exact same way as someone else. Like even people that identify, strictly as male or strictly as female are different than other females and different than other males, So it's sort of, it's hard for me to say that there is gender in the first place. If there was a spectrum, that would be a really weird looking spectrum. And it would have to be fluid because each person changes their gender, or at least their gender presentation, even within the quote-unquote normal bounds of changing your gender presentation.
I just wanted to clarify that today's the 28th. I think before I said it was the 27th, but I had just woken up, so I wasn't totally with it. Yeah, so I had my shot. No patches. I'm on T through my butt. Shot it right in here. Shot it right in here. Shot it right in here.
I went to school in the South. I've been in the South for 9 years. And I came out as queer once I was at school. So I've only had the queer Southern experience. I've spent my entire life as a queer person in the South. And I didn't have an easy time with it. Not because there aren't queer people here, because there are queer people here. But it's hard to fit in with the communities here because I seem to fall in between a lot of the groups. There's a lot of different queer people and they're all lumped together though.